So you're prepping for the IELTS exam. You've been practicing, timing yourself, doing all the right things. But what if a few tiny, hidden mistakes are what's really holding your score back?
Think about it for a second. Are there little grammar habits you have that might be chipping away at your band score? These are the kinds of mistakes that are so easy to miss, but they can mean the difference between getting the score you need and falling just short. Welcome to the Explainer by IELTS Guide Phil on YouTube. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on those sneaky grammar mistakes. We'll be breaking down his expert advice on what they are and, most importantly, how you can fix them for good. And here's something that might surprise you. We're not just talking about the writing and speaking tests. IELTS Guide Phil points out that these little errors can actually cost you points across all 4 sections. Yep, even in listening and reading. It all comes down to being precise. Okay, let's kick things off with the big one, the writing test. Now, IELTS Guide Phil calls these traps for a reason. They are so easy to fall into when you're under pressure, and they can really hurt the clarity and flow of your essays. First up is subject-verb agreement. Take a look at this. Your brain sees the word people and immediately thinks plural, so you want to say are. But hold on. The real subject of the sentence is the number. And number is a single thing. It's singular. So the number is high. This is a super common one, especially in task 1.
Next, articles, a, an, and the. This one's a bit more subtle. When you're talking about a big general concept like technology in general or education as a whole, you usually don't need the. Dropping it makes your writing sound much more natural and fluent.
Now, this one might seem basic, but in the heat of the exam, it happens all the time. The second you write in the past, you've set a very clear time frame. That means your verb has to match. In the past, people used letters. Always make sure your time markers and your verbs are on the same page.
Ah, the comma splice. You just can't connect 2 full sentences with only a comma. It's like a weak bridge between 2 separate ideas. What you need is a proper connector, a conjunction, like and, to link them together smoothly and correctly. Ugh, prepositions. These can be so tricky, right? They don't always make logical sense. You just have to know them. In English, you are good at a skill, not good in. Learning these little phrases is a fantastic way to boost your accuracy. So, what's the #1 takeaway for the writing section? According to IELTS Guide Phil, it's this. Proofread. Always proofread. That last 5 minutes of checking your work is your best chance to catch these common traps before the examiner does. All right, let's switch gears and talk about the speaking test. Here, grammar is less about being perfect on paper and more about sounding clear, fluent, and natural. The examiner is listening for how well you can use a range of structures accurately. Just like in writing, tenses are a big deal in speaking. The moment you say yesterday, you've given your listener a clue about the time. They're expecting a past tense verb to follow, so you need to say, I went. It's all about being consistent and clear. Conditionals are a fantastic way to show off your grammar skills. For this type of likely future event, the structure is pretty straightforward. It's if plus the present simple, then the future simple. So if I study, I will pass. It just flows so much better. Oh yeah, the classic double comparative. You hear this one all the time, but think about it. The word better already means more good, so adding another more is just repeating yourself. Keep it clean. This book is better. Simple. This is a really important one. In English, to make a negative sentence like this, you need a little helper verb. You can't just say, she not like. You need to say, she does not like coffee. It's a fundamental part of English sentence structure. So what's the pro tip from IELTS Guide Phil for speaking? It's not just about avoiding mistakes. It's about showing what you can do. If you can mix in some simple, compound, and complex sentences, you're showing the examiner you have a great command of the language. That's how you get to those higher band scores. Okay, now for the parts of the test where you might think grammar doesn't matter as much. Listening and reading. But this is where precision is absolutely everything, and tiny mistakes can easily cost you points. You know, the most common errors in these sections are all about the tiny details. We're talking about things like, did they say the plural or singular form? What was the exact verb tense? Did you hear an a or an an? Let me show you what I mean. Imagine this. In the listening test, you clearly hear the phrase, many services. But when you write your answer, you just put service.
Guess what? That's incorrect. That one little S at the end is the entire difference between a right and a wrong answer. You have to be exact.
And it's the exact same story in the reading test. Let's say the passage says a company was established in 1990. If you have to fill in a blank and you just write establish, it's not going to be right. Your answer has to fit into the sentence of the question perfectly, grammatically speaking. This one is so easy to miss. The instructions might say write no more than 2 words. If the audio says he is an engineer, the correct 2-word answer is an engineer. If you just write engineer, you've missed a word and your answer is wrong. That little article is part of the answer. So for listening and reading, the name of the game is being meticulous. IELTS Guide Phil's advice here is to train yourself to be a detail detective. Zoom in on those plural endings, the verb tenses, and those tiny words like a, an, and the. They seriously matter.
Okay, let's wrap this all up into a simple game plan for you. Number 1, go back and review these key rules we talked about. Number 2, train your brain to laser focus on the tiny details in listening and reading. And number 3, the golden rule. Always proofread. That final check is your best friend.
So if you want to take your prep to the next level, here's what you can do. Go read the full blog post on this topic over at IELTSGuidePhil.com. You can also watch a ton more explainers just like this one right here on his YouTube channel. And for more support, join his amazing Facebook community. Of course, if you want personalized coaching to really nail your writing and speaking, just comment below to ask about IELTS Guide Phil's online coaching service. All the links for everything are waiting for you in the description below. Thanks for watching.